Arizona. I'm over here in Kingman, Arizona at the protests they're doing today, the 2 o'clock protests they're doing around the country.
We're
going to go down here and see exactly what these people are protesting. Thank you very much.
So that little old lady right there,
Mm-hmm.
I think she might have been homeless, actually.
Is that all of her stuff? Are those her things next to her?
That's her things there.
Yeah, she's likely homeless. Yeah.
But, I'm not going to say one way or the other, but that's what she appeared to me. And when I actually questioned her later, I asked her, what she's there, protesting. And she goes, I don't know. I just got this sign.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Aww.
So I think she's one of the paid protesters, that was paid, for being there, Yeah. And maybe, who knows, maybe I bought her a hamburger. But either way, she was never up with the crowd or anything. She was sitting there in the grass, minding her own business, sign laying right there on the ground, as you can see. but anyways, it was almost kind of cute in one aspect. That's the sign she had. Okay, let me skip through to some of these more.
What's on the shooting out in Minnesota?
I think it was abhorrent and unnecessary, and I think a lot of people are being misled and lied to, and people are not getting accurate information.
So we watched the coverage ourselves on several different angles, and it appears the lady actually hit the ice agent. What's your thoughts on that?
I think you've been misled.
So you think that is fake coverage?
I think you've been misled.
But do you think that is fake coverage?
I think there are elements in the media and the right-wing media that would like to distort the facts and keep people like you agitated and divisive and unnecessarily angry.
Well, I'm not agitated. I'm a bystander here, just reporting the news.
Welcome to join in, but we are not welcome to promote anything other than peace and love and justice and unity and inclusivity and togetherness.
So she was sitting there trying to tell me what I can and can't do for the day down there.
Yeah,
and
interesting.
Like, what part don't you understand? I'm a news reporter, and I'm going to cover the news.
Right.
I appreciate your time. Thank you. Anything you'd like to add to this?
No, we're not going to do that.
All right, thank you.
We're not going to do it.
How you doing, sir?
Doing good. How you doing?
Good.
We're not doing it. Excuse me.
I'd appreciate you not obstructing our cameras. We've got the right to be out here reporting.
I know you do. And I'm not obstructing. I'm just...
You are actually obstructing a news agency.
I'm sorry, what, Julie?
She's not obstructing. Come on, lady. Her presence is obstructing.
Exactly. She kept trying to block my camera. I finally got past her up here in this videos.
Okay.
Here, I'll skip ahead a little bit.
If asking a simple question, what this protest is about, is a problem with you, that's your problem, not mine.
It's not a protest.
Okay. If this is what you call a rally, then okay. That's fine. You guys are entitled to your opinions on it. So,
I'm not going to let you do that.
No, go ahead. Let him do it.
No, we don't need that.
So that guy's trying to intervene on it too, telling her, go ahead and let him do it, interview him. And it's like, this was mostly women down there, by the way. And these women were trying to act like they were in charge of everything. And it's just like every time I kept trying to interview people, she was right there beside me every step of the way.
Senior citizen women primarily?
Yep, a good majority, yes.
Okay.
Let me skip past that, though. Here we go.
I stand up there. And the guy, I think,
Support democracy. Support the Constitution, please. All right. That's all we accept.
100% support the Constitution.
That's good. Glad to hear that. Support the Constitution. Right.
Okay, I got a question with your sign.
Yeah.
So you're stating here that she was murdered, correct?
right? I believe so. Yeah.
Why's your thoughts leading towards murder?
Well, if you look at the way that car was sitting and the way she was turning her hand, she was turning away from that guy standing up there in front. And the guy, I think, way overreacted. You know, he overreacted. You know, probably shouldn't even been out there because he had been. You know, I don't know. Did they give him any retraining or psychological training after the first time he was run over? Probably not. You know, he was gun shy, or you know, I mean, he was just overreacting.
Overreacted?
Totally overreacted.
Right.
So, yeah, if he was any other police force in the United States, he'd be on leave. You know, and they'd be investigating. He's
Well-
the only one.
well, everybody-
that hasn't been investigated.
Everybody here is entitled to their opinion. I'm not here to tell you guys you're not entitled to your opinion. We're here to report the news.
Right.
So that's what we're down here to do, is report and get the story out to America. So whether other people hate this story or you guys hate what I'm doing, that's on America, not me. I just cover the news stories.
Yeah, well, we didn't have such an influx of ICE agents, you know, into our cities. Now I can see picking up bad guys and criminals.
Well, that's what they're doing, ain't
Yeah,
it?
but
They're
you know,
doing.
I mean, they are creating this. This is what's happening. You know, when they go out and force and you know, they're acting without any impunity whatsoever. I mean,
What's your
what
thoughts on the
impunity
assassination of Charlie Kirk?
I think that's total bullshit. I mean, same thing from the other side. That kid was wacko. You know.
I'm sorry, did you say something, Julie?
Well, does he even know what impunity means? I mean, people are throwing words around. They have no idea what the definition is.
I think that's part of their speech is what they're told to tell us.
Yeah, that's part of their 4 a.m.
He
speaking
had been,
points.
Yeah.
you know, brainwashed, but the way a lot of the young men on the internet, you know, too much time on the internet, and you know, there's no room in violence whatsoever. Charlie Kirk was a good guy out there saying what he wanted to say.
At least he says this much.
That's good.
And I support his right to do everything he was doing. I didn't agree with him, but I mean, you know,
Well,
that assassination of him was total bullshit.
Well, again, we all can agree to disagree in this world. Everybody's entitled to their thoughts and opinions on the matter. I personally went down to Charlie Kirk's memorial and at several of his events, and I do know he was a good Christian man. Met him in person, and seeing him be assassinated was a great loss for America.
Yeah, I did not agree with that at all. You know, whatsoever.
And for me, it's great to see so many young people at the colleges around the country that are getting spiritually involved. There should be
From resorting to something else.
Oh, actually, no. I'm asking his thoughts about Charlie Kirk.
So that's her trying to tell me that.
Yeah, is that the crazy lady moving in again?
Yep, that's her trying to tell me I'm off subject.
Yes. Okay.
No, what you're doing is politicizing. So we don't need to do that here, okay?
What I'm doing is
So-
politicizing.
Well, you know, it was a regretful. That was a sad move. You know, you know, his assassination was terrible. You know,
So what's it?
just like her assassination was terrible too. You know,
So what's your thoughts on all the Border Patrol agents and ICE agents being rammed by these protesters as well?
well, no, if they are really
Now, here in a second, this other guy really gets right in my face as I'm talking to him. So pay attention.
Okay.
going after them with their cars, you know, she was not. You know, but if someone is like running a car into a Border Patrol agent, yeah, they can react. But her particular situation, to me, did not look like she was trying to ram him. You know, she was turning the wheel the opposite from where he was standing, the opposite way. She was not gun on the edge. She was moving really slow. I mean, you know, she was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
So have you ever reviewed the footage that he actually had recorded?
Yes, I saw that.
So, in your opinion, from the time she put it in gear, did you bother to count how many seconds it took her to hit him?
I don't think he was hit. I don't
If
think he
you
was.
think that she hit him,
Yeah,
This
I don't.
guy.
you're
think
an
he was
idiot. You're an idiot. Everybody has watched the footage. If you've watched different footage and think that he got hit,
Yeah,
you're a fucking idiot.
He didn't never got tied.
No, you're an idiot.
Okay.
If you saw something that wasn't there, you're either hallucinating, taking too many medications, or drunk, or you're just an idiot.
Anyways, this is the kind of
Yeah,
response. That's the kind of
that's a
response.
usual default. That's a usual default. Let's go to name calling,
Yep.
when they don't have the facts
And
and
as you
they're just parrots repeating everything.
right, and as you
Right.
notice, I was polite to everybody, and I kept
Mhm.
telling everybody, "You're entitled to your opinion. I'm just here
Mhm.
doing the news coverage."
Right.
And
Right. Good
and
job.
speaking my mind and what I actually seen in the footage.
Mhm.
And anybody that says, she didn't hit him, don't know what to say.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Obviously,
again, they get their talking points and they stick with them, and
yeah.
yep,
So
very interesting.
I'm a firm believer that each and every one of these guys were told, because I interviewed a lot of people yesterday, Julie, and
Mhm.
every one of them told me that she never hit them. Every last one of them.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I asked each and every one of them, if they believe that she actually hit them,
Mhm.
which kind of told me the whole story
Well,
about. Oh,
it's rather
yeah, go ahead.
hilarious that they think that Fox News is the only bad news, misinformation. I was like, really? Oh, okay. Not saying that they're good, but just curious that they automatically default to that.
Oh, and by the way, I want to share with everybody Elijah Garrison. He was ambushed on January 11th of this year. Another one of our officers that lost his life in the line of duty.
Oh.
News coverages seem to like to hide this stuff for whatever reason. So I just want to get this out there in honor of him. So that's him.
Young man.
Very young man. And it's pretty sad that we're seeing more and more of this around the country. Again, I keep reporting on this stuff, getting it out there. And it says right here, I'm just going to read it real quick. On
Ambushed and
January,
killed. Oh.
yep, on January 11th, 2026, police officer Elijah Garrison was ambushed and killed near the intersection of Lost Trail and Great Hills Drive in Cabarrus Cove, wherever that's at. While responding to reports of a suspicious person after lengthy negotiations with officers, the suspect was discovered dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Oh.
So these people are cowards. They take an officer's life, and next thing you know, that they're sitting there committing suicide.
Man, it's sad.
And sadly, we're seeing more and more of our law enforcement officers gunned down in the line of duty. And again, if you go back for the last 60 days on my Facebook, you'll see multiple officers that's been gunned down in the line of duty this year. The other great news is 24 officers have resigned from the Minneapolis police. I'm sure a lot of you guys already know that. 18 of them signed over to
Ice,
working
baby.
working for ICE. So for those of you men that did that, you're very honorable. And my hat's off to you for it.
Yep.
That's what you call officers that refuse to accept unlawful orders.
Yes,
And
exactly.
as the Democrats sit there and stand up for Mr. Astronaut, as he is telling people to stand down from Trump's orders, which are not unlawful. Let's see, I'm trying to get to my broadcast to share a little bit of the footage with you guys. Let's see. Boy, I post a lot.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do. Let's see. I think I'm almost there, actually. Here we go. Okay, so I can share this other one. So this is from my trip down on the Yuma sector. We're doing this with our other camera because right now it's still live, but you guys didn't come in. So anyways, this is Jonathan Alexander, Your News Arizona. I'm on the U.S.-Mexico border down here in the Yuma sector, and I'm here with
Specialist
Session?
Sechi.
Sechi, and he's with the United States Army. He's
Battle PNC
DeVore,
PNC DeVore, yes.
United States Army.
Yes, sir.
So these guys are active Army. These aren't your National Guard guys. So we don't have our weekend warriors down here.
That's true.
And for you American patriots out there, what an honor to see our soldiers down here on the border. I'm Jonathan Alexander, Your News Arizona.
Morning, sir.
Appreciate you guys being here.
Thank you, sir.
We've been covering this sector for many, many years. I've done a lot of work down here with Sheriff Wilmot for the Yuma Sheriff. Also, I cover the Sasebe, Arizona, Tucson sector. So we're one of the only people that broadcast this stuff live for our world to see the real truth. We don't go back and cut. We don't edit it. This is a live broadcast. And you're on live TV, by the way. So hope you don't mind.
I'm
So
alright.
you only got a couple million people watching it. So anyways,
I think he got a little
we
choked
do
up.
highly appreciate you guys. You guys call this operation here what kind of a
G-Boss?
G-Boss setup?
Yes, sir.
So as you guys can see, the setup they got going
I'll
on there.
explain to you guys what a G-Boss setup is. That's a solar, all solar powered surveillance systems out the whole 9 yards to where they can monitor everything from drones. I mean, you name it, they're monitoring it all for cartel activity, human traffickers, drug traffickers trying to come through. And so in the footage right here in a minute, you're going to see where I walk down and show you that border wall there is not intact, which is tribal land, and that's where they've been coming through for quite some time.
Right.
On down here. What a sight to see. And as we have broadcasted many times, right here is where the border wall ends.
Okay, I'm going to stop that right here for a second. So right there, where you see the concrete barrier in place right there at the end of the wall right there,
Yeah.
that from that point all the way up that border wall used to be a canopy where these illegals would walk in right there and then walk under the canopy. They would have boarding passes right there, all ready to give to the illegals. So they'd fill out their luggage form, telling them where they're headed, here in our country, blah, blah, blah. And then they'd load them up on a transport van, take them over to the Tucson sector right there to the processing center. They'd get processed. Usually within not even 24 hours, they'd be sitting out in like Baltimore, New York, somewhere, wherever they say they're going in the country. They'd transport.
So were they given tickets on commercial airlines to
Yes,
get
they were. Yes, they were.
Interesting.
And this is why I used to beat up on our border patrol so much about what they were doing, because to me that is treasonous.
Yeah, that act of engaging with the illegals and
Right.
aiding and abetting. Hello.
Right. So if you guys want to talk about illegal acts, that's an illegal act.
Yeah, and following
That's an
illegal orders.
That's
right?
following illegal orders. Now,
Yes.
anybody placing those illegal orders would have been the Biden administration and Border Patrol back then.
That's right. That's right.
Because either way, that's aiding with a foreign invasion. You got over 150 countries coming through that sector right there.
Yep.
Just like you did the Tucson sector.
Right.
So again, why would you aid the enemy?
Right.
Why would you assist with the foreign invasion
Mhm.
when they're they're illegal because they're coming not through the port of entry, they're coming right through the gaps in the wall, just walking on into our country.
Mhm.
That
So,
doesn't make them
Jonathan,
legal.
explain to us the gap in the wall that we're getting ready to witness on this seen here. How far does that gap go from where we see?
That goes for a lot of miles. And then actually off to the right side of the video, if you kept on going down to where I started the video at,
Mm-hmm.
that it also becomes tribal land again.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, and then you have this big section right there with the wall. But the problem that we have is the tribal council down there will not allow Trump's wall to be built. And that's something that, you know, we have got to get under control one way or another.
Right.
Whether it's overriding the tribal council in the tribal nation and just saying, you know what, we're taking control.
Right.
Because right now, that's where they're still pouring through. This is why our military is in place down there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got cartel constantly on the move down there.
Right.
And, you know, and they still try to traffic their drugs through, you know, the fentanyl, all the crap that they bring into our country.
Mm-hmm.
They're hardly seeing any, as the Democrats call them, migrants. I call them illegals. But they're not hardly seeing any of them. That's pretty much the traffickers and the people that want to create some harm to America trying to come in.
Right.
So again, you know, it was great to see our military guys down there.
Mm-hmm.
These guys' unit, he said they had, I think it was about 60 men in their unit right there.
Right. Yeah.
But there's several units down there deployed on that sector there.
Good.
So we'll play a little bit more of it real quick.
Okay.
This is all tribal land all the way down.
Mm.
This is where the Trump administration has been unable to get the tribal council to allow the wall to be built right here. This is where you still have your human trafficking, drug trafficking coming through. We have seen high pursuits right here from Border Patrol in the past. Right up here, they used.
So when I said we've seen high pursuits in the past, I had, oh God, it's been probably almost a year ago now. We were down there and a guy comes flying through with a, I think it was a Trans Am actually.
Mm-hmm.
And Border Patrol ended up running him down. And if I remember right, he was wanted already on several other things here in America.
Mm.
And I believe homicide was one of them.
Oh.
But Border Patrol actually got him that time.
Was he trying to get back to Mexico?
He was trying to run drugs.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep. And
wow.
That time they nabbed him.
Wow.
So, but then who knows? You know, he might be back out on the street already, thanks to the Biden administration.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so because it was constantly catch and release.
Yeah, man.
They used to have the thing on the wall that a lot of you guys remember. They took down all the signs, so it no longer says "Welcome to America." This is great to see that and as you guys can see, all the porta potties that used to be here, there's a couple right here. I'm going to zoom that in. That's it for water down here. You don't see the porta potties that used to line this whole section in the tent right here, where these illegals would line up like they're going to Disneyland. So this has all been eliminated. They tore it out. We've got our U.S. Army down here, which is great to see. And how many military personnel do you guys think we have on the whole border right now, right here?
I wouldn't say, I wouldn't be able to tell, to be honest, but I know out of our battery we have about 60 personnel.
About 60 in your unit?
Yes.
Okay.
About 60 of us are in total work this whole border, whether there be some that stay back at the command post or like rotate through our three sites down here.
I'm sure you guys are sitting behind a.
So their command post is a monitoring station area where they monitor all the activity on the border, and then they can dispatch men out right there from that area as well.
And that's where they would also be analyzing the drone activity, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Behind a computer doing surveillance work too.
Yes, sir.
You betcha, right? Yep. So, because I was down.
So I know they didn't say this here, you know. So, anyways, if you guys want to watch the whole video in a live broadcast, if you missed it, scroll down on my Facebook or YouTube channel under Your News Arizona or on Rumble, And don't forget to like, share, and follow us on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook. We're on Telegram as well under Your News Arizona. But just check us out. You guys can see the full broadcast from the border right there on that as well. But the whole thing is, Julie, our borders, we've got some pretty big problems going on down there. I had a private conference with those guys. I think I left the camera running and I walked away. They gave me a lot of intel, which I honored my word and have not shared it. But in due time, I'll be able to share it. Just stay tuned for more folks. Pay attention to your news channel on the Yuma sector. And I think you'll know what this conversation was about with me in the military. Don't like to give the enemies heads up on anything.
Right.
So you got to be careful what we say and don't say. And that's kind of why Donald Trump does what he does. People go, well, he didn't go to Congress telling him he's getting ready to do this. Well, if he went to Congress and told them, oh, by the way, we're getting ready to go nab that
But Maduro or whatever,
Maduro,
whatever his name is, the Venezuelan dude.
Oh, trust me, if he would have gave the Congress heads up that he is going to go do that, the Democrats would have alerted him.
Completely.
And
because they're mostly we're finding that the tie goes back to them.
Yep.
In some way, shape, or form, the Democratic Party seems to be at the forefront of a lot of this fraud shell companies within the individual states. So it's I'm not going to say that Republicans aren't guilty as well. Just seems to be what's popping up initially is a lot of Democrats tied to shell companies in order to keep pushing through this fraud and stealing from we the people.
Right. Now, down at the protest yesterday when I was covering it, I know we ended that. They can go on our channels and see that as well from when I broadcasted. But I had two people down there. They were pretty much there because they were wanting a release of the Epstein files, a complete release. And in that category, I'm going to just say it, whether you guys agree with me or disagree, those files need to be released completely. Not the so-called redacted bullshit. Because what has been released has been so redacted, it's unreal. And that's unacceptable. I want to see names of every last person involved in this. And you know what? If there was wrongdoings, even by Republicans, they need to be hung.
Oh yeah.
I'm just going to say it. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. If you're in the wrong, and if you have done injustice, I guarantee you, we're going to expose the shit out of you. That I promise. And that's called real news. I'm not this one-sided based news, or would I ever be? So again, I've had no problem in the past exposing Republicans as well. And again,
we acknowledge totally that the whole political venue. Again, we're going to break the word down. Poly is many, ticks bloodsuckers. So we're just going to go with that vein. And they have done nothing but really set it up to steal from we the people. I think as we go along, we're going to learn more how the dual citizenship that they maintain is illegal. Therefore, they should never have been in the status that they currently are. We're finding out how the lobbyists. So there's one maybe we can do tomorrow. That's going to be, I want to take a look at the James O'Keefe undercover over in Davos. And there were a ton of people talking about climate and how to make money off of the governments as they continue to spray us like cockroaches.
Yep. 100% believe it.
Yep. So maybe we'll
Um,
talk about that tomorrow. But there's a lot of, the way that the whole political game has been set up, not just here in the United States, but globally. It's
right.
a hot mess. And they do not represent we the people. They never have. They've been all about lining their pockets. And
Right.
so, what we're doing here is just trying to show how they've been lining their pockets and stealing from us.
That would be a great broadcast for us to do, Julie, to get
Yeah,
that out there.
we'll do that this week.
Yeah.
Maybe
All
tomorrow
right.
or Friday.
And then we've got another trip planned up from the borders, and I'm not going to say what location we're going to be at until we're there. I can tell you this much though: I have Russ Clark from the Russ Clark Show. He's a big broadcast agency out of Yuma. Him and I've got another gentleman joining us.
Nice.
And hopefully be doing a ride along with Sheriff Wilmot, all three of us. And
Cool.
so, but we're not going to disclose whereabouts we're going to be at until we're already there.
Now we're there.
Yep. And so that'll be coming up here soon, and we'll it's going to be unannounced. So until the day of the broadcast.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
So
like your Puma trip was.
Yep. The announcement you're going to get is when we're live on the border.
Right. Right.
So,
Yep.
But just keep in mind it's going to be coming real soon. And we're going to start doing a lot of coverage on the borders again. And we're going to be going, I'll just say, down to the Tucson sector as well. Not going to give whereabouts on that. Keep in mind, the Tucson sector is the #1 human trafficking, drug trafficking in the country. It's the most dangerous part of the border.
Wow.
Not that Yuma sector is not dangerous, because it is as well.
Right. Right.
But down in the Tucson sector, there's been many war zones down there. Firefights, I mean, you name it, that's gone on down there. But we're going to cover it. I'm sorry, what's that, Julie?
I have a question. So I was doing some research about the actual state of Arizona, and I found that I believe it was in 2018 or 19, there was a town that popped up. It looks like the cartel went in, and it's either called Hope or New Hope, Arizona.
Right.
4,700 population, all buildings, both commercial and personal, owned by cartel. Can you confirm that?
That's my understanding. And so your news Arizona investigates will be out there and seeing what we can learn on this.
Okay.
And see if we can't help expose it. Looks like we have a Marv Parker. And thanks for joining in today, Marv. He's responding to yesterday's protest. You're not right, lady. They caused herself to be killed. You're spot on, Marv. You know, none of those guys acknowledged the fact that she was the king leader, so to speak.
She was the ice warrior.
Yep, she was in charge of that, and the head of that all day long, harassing our border agents, blocking them. I mean, you name it.
Yeah.
And
she'd been there for a number of hours before that incident took place.
But listening to these guys yesterday, they made it sound like, oh, she was just a poor innocent bystander, just trying to drive away. If you guys remember the video, and I'll say it again, you know, what I saw on the video spoke for itself. I believe it was a mission, basically a suicide mission, if you want to get to the direct point about it. Look at the video. Her lover that was with her kept trying to get in the car right before she sped into the ICE agent, kept trying to get into the car, and she refused to unlock the door to let her in, and she sped right at the agent.
Yep.
Now, if that's somebody that was trying to drive away, why would, if that's really the true case to the matter, why would you leave your lover girl behind?
Right.
You wouldn't leave your spouse.
No. No.
That's not what a
No.
spouse does. You don't
Right.
abandon your spouse if
No.
you're just driving away. See you guys later. Have a
If
nice
you're like,
day.
yeah, wait, let me get out of the way for you guys. Yeah. Come on, honey, let's
Exactly.
go. Yeah.
Yeah. Instead, she wouldn't allow her in the car, and then she spent, and that's when it all occurred.
Well, and
And
there
I,
was no brake lights. That there was
right.
no brake lights whatsoever.
No,
When he was
never
in
hit
front
the
of
brakes. Never hit the brakes.
you.
And if you actually count, I did. It was like 1,001, boom, that quick.
Wow.
So that tells you the second she put that in gear, she definitely throttled it. And
Wow.
just do the countdown yourselves, folks.
Yeah.
It wasn't like she just casually started to drive away. I guarantee you, those wheels were spinning, and she gunned it. But again, as far as I'm concerned, that's old news now.
Yeah.
But these Democrats, they'll drag this on for 3 more years.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I
And
just
again,
find it very curious that it took all of this caca is taking place about 3 to 4 blocks away from the initial George Floyd incident.
Yep.
That says volumes when it comes to paid protesters, right? I believe that's probably one of their meccas that they go to is up in Minnesota for as deep as it is with the Antifa caca.
Well, guess what? I might go ahead and expose what I was being partially told the other day because it just hit the news.
Really?
So Trump wants to send troops into Mexico. The land grab of the Mexican-American War makes this politically untenable. Sorry about that. After the United States government celebrates the capture of Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela, President Donald Trump issued warnings about what might come next. Something will have to be done about Mexico, he said. American dominance in the Western Hemisphere will never be questioned again.
Good.
And the U.S. government has pushed for U.S. forces to accompany their Mexican counterparts in operations targeting fentanyl production. So that probably is going to answer your guys' question of why you were seeing the troops down on the border.
And why they're active duty troops on the border.
And why these are active duty. Like I said, I know what's about to happen, but I'm going to just keep my until it hits the main news. I'm keeping my word.
It's big.
But other than that, this just made national news right this point.
So one thing I want folks to notice too, though, is that when by the time it becomes news, when folks are talking about, oh, this could happen, there's already things in play. There's already movement and action.
That's why you guys
topic.
That's why you guys see Your News Arizona down on those borders, because I've got a good rapport with Border Patrol, ICE agents, and now our military. And I get the news before the news even makes the mainstream. And so you guys can all say you heard it from Your News Arizona.
That's right.
Before, and the rest remains to be history, coming up soon to a channel near you.
Or so anyways, near you.
The rest of the channel says, but the history of U.S. military intervention in Mexico makes the presence of foreign troops under any pretext politically untenable. The arrival of U.S. troops in the past has signaled political instability, separating from ordinary people. And in the most extreme case, massive loss of territory. Before the one-sided Mexican-American War of 1846 through 48, most of what is today the state The states of California, Nevada, Utah, and Arizona, and New Mexico have been part of the newly independent Mexican Republic. Okay.
Was that on Truth Social by President Trump?
I'll finish reading
Okay.
this real quick.
Okay, sorry, I thought you were done.
No, this isn't Truth Social.
Okay.
The second Trump's government's realignment of security policies includes an aggressive reboot of the 19th century Monroe Doctrine, which projected influence across the Western Hemisphere. Trump likes to call the updated version the Don Roe Doctrine, and it dispenses with any pretense of hemispheric solidarity. The embrace of this doctrine has people and governments throughout the Western Hemisphere on edge. Well, they probably ought to be on edge. You know what? I'm just going to say it. Fuck around and find out. You know, for the cartel, for you cartel fuckers out there, go ahead, keep fucking around with America. You're going to find out what's going to come your way, you son of a bitches. And I'm looking forward to seeing that day rain down on you.
Well, I think we're going to have the opportunity to roll out some new weapons that have been in our archives for a while. So this is going to be.
We got some technology that can go off over in Mexico. Those boys won't even be able to move. It's kind of like it just got done over with Maduro.
Yep.
His men couldn't even move and paralyzed them.
Yep.
They said they'd never seen anything like it. Well, guess what, cartel fuckers? It's coming for you next.
It's on the way. It's on the way. Yep.
You know, excuse my language, guys. You know, I'm fed up with the hundreds of thousands of Americans that have died from fentanyl, the human trafficking, witnessing the little children that we have reported on come through the border with 10, 12 different semens in them from being raped by the cartel.
Yeah.
These are brutal thugs. They're fucking terrorists. This is why every one of these son of a bitches need to be deported out of our country, because we don't know who in the hell is who. We don't know who's a human trafficker, who's a mule that was working for the cartel that came through the borders. You know, as these Democrats want to protect these thugs, you know, these child molesters, rapists, murderers. You know, these people want to protect these son of a bitches. You know what? No mercy for them. That's what I say.
Yeah.
You know, get them the hell out of this country and let's get America safe again and get it back on the right order. We need law and justice in this country. And it needs to start. And I don't care, again, if you're a Republican or Democrat, if you're a corrupt son of a bitch, I hope to hang you. Because everybody involved in all the shit that's allowed this country to go to hell needs to be incarcerated, and several should be tried for treason to this country.
Yes. This is where we have been infiltrated. This is where a lot of people don't see it as an infiltration. But this has been going on not just throughout the Biden administration with our open borders, but it's been going on for decades. I mean, we're talking the way that they have allowed and offered folks to come in is just ridiculous when it comes to how much we've been infiltrated on all levels for the FBI, the CIA, all levels of government, all levels of law enforcement, all levels of governmental agencies, the politicians.
Guess who this report came in from?
Where?
The Conversations AU.
Was that?
Is that Australia?
I don't know. Well, they're going to get more information on us than we do.
Yeah. Can you Google search that real quick, Julie?
What's it called?
The Conversation AU. I've never heard of these guys. But it just popped up on national news up here on my news broadcast.
Yep, it is. Written by academics. Conversation is a network of nonprofit media outlets publishing news stories and research reports online authored by academics with professional journalist editors to produce accessible, research-informed outputs. Articles are written by academics and researchers under a Creative Commons license, allowing reuse without modification. Copyright terms for images are generally listed, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Website was launched in Australia in March 2011. The network has since expanded globally with a variety of local editions originating from around the world. 10
Good for the Australians.
Yeah.
Thank you, Australia, for getting that out there to the American people. But anyways, your News Arizona beat you guys to the punch anyways. But either way, appreciate you guys getting the broadcast out there.
For sure.
Yeah. But again, we don't have active duty down there just to pick their nose.
Right.
They're down there for a job, and I believe this job is going to get well done. And these boys seem to have their shit really together. I highly respect them, and again, it's almost felt like I was talking to my son. They're, actually, my son might be a little bit older than these guys.
Yeah.
But either way, just good to see active duty down there right now.
Sure, absolutely.
I
wanted to share a personal story about the fentanyl issue. I recently met this beautiful woman who was stabbed by her husband. And I asked for details. You may learn about her story in the upcoming future because I'm going to interview her. But basically, it was a downward spiral of him having a surgery, getting addicted to fentanyl while he was in the hospital, coming out, and then that fentanyl addiction, in the hospital, he was able to hit the button continually. And then he got out and he was still looking for that, how do you make the pain go away?
Right.
And so it was just a downward spiral. And then alcohol was involved. And he wound up attempting to kill his wife. And he's been behind bars for a long time now because of it. So, we think that fentanyl is, it's not the silent killer. It's a very loud killer, and it affects so many families on so many different levels. And so we, the people, I love seeing that we're finally going after the real bad guys, the kingpins that are really pushing this crap.
Yeah, go out to the main source and knock them out.
That's right. So I'm excited to see as what things are lining up to be, and looking forward to a golden age, just like President Trump keeps talking about.
That's right. Well, Julia, I'd like to just mention out there to our viewing audience, any of you guys out there that have had fentanyl affect your lives and your family's lives, or who have lost loved ones due to fentanyl, I'd love for you guys to, get involved, speak out in the comment section on it.
Let us know your story.
I have talked to so many different families that have lost loved ones to fentanyl, and they said even our daughter, as she was dying, said she didn't even know she did fentanyl. She goes, she thought she was smoking a joint that was laced with fentanyl, and she died of fentanyl.
She was OD. Wow.
And all she was doing was smoking a joint, which I don't, I don't discriminate on people that want to smoke a little pot,
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, it's a lot more safer than alcohol.
Very much so. Well, when we have an endocannabinoid system in our body that allows our body to work better because we're ingesting CBD, CBG and stuff. Yeah. God made a beautiful plant for us.
But the problem is, though, that you have with it, is nowadays you don't know what's really in that marijuana that you bought from a dispensary. I covered in the past about a dispensary out. Actually, that was out in Idaho, I think it was. Yeah, or no, Spokane, Washington. Anyways, they ended up having was selling marijuana that was actually laced with fentanyl, and people were dying.
Um, and this, excuse me, and this is the kind of stuff that happens, and it's like supposedly these dispensaries are supposed to have a way to test the product to make sure
They
there's
do.
nothing else in it,
Yeah.
and obviously they weren't testing it properly.
Hmm.
Because when you got marijuana laced with fentanyl, and then people die from it,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
it kind of tells you there's no safe place to even get marijuana anymore unless you're growing it yourself.
Pretty
So
much.
if it's legal where you guys are at, go out and buy some marijuana seed, plant your own damn plants. It's not even worth the risk buying it from anybody off the street or at one of those
Hmm.
dispensaries anymore.
Yep.
You just never know, and all it takes is one bad joint and you're dead.
Yep. Yep.
I'm
Yep. Yep.
just saying that because I care about the American people, and again, I don't discriminate against people that use marijuana.
Hmm.
I know a lot of people that use it for cancer, for pain, and my daughter that died out in Idaho this last year,
Hmm.
um, she did pot day and night, and
Hmm.
it's the only thing that kept her to where she could digest food. She was
Hmm.
on dialysis, on kidney dialysis for over 15 years,
Oh.
and she ended up years ago getting in some kind of trouble out in Idaho over the marijuana.
Hmm.
And my wife, who passed away in 2019, went before the courts, talked to the judge and said, Your Honor, whatever you do here today is what you do, but understand we're going to continue. My daughter's going to continue with the marijuana because that's the only thing keeping her alive.
Yeah.
And even though in Idaho marijuana is totally illegal,
Hmm.
which I believe it's going to get passed now, um,
Okay.
the
Good.
judge the judge showed leniency on her and didn't do anything and
Wow.
understood.
Yeah.
And so thank God for that judge, that he was a very understanding judge that
That's
had
good. Yeah.
compassion, that had full compassion and a heart.
Hmm.
But again, so many people have to take that for different medical needs. And
Absolutely. Well, and it's one of the original medications that were
correct.
within the American Medical Association for a long time. And then they took it out around 1937 with the Marijuana Act of 1937 and, criminalized it when it was such a huge medicinal valued product and
Right.
plant. Yeah, it's sad how they've criminalized it
Well,
and now profitized it.
yeah.
Like
Well,
you said, they're lacing it with so much other crap. It's
right.
horrible.
And part of the story behind my daughter, by sharing that story, the point is, we used to take her from Wallace, Idaho, over into Spokane, Washington, because Washington it was legal to
Hmm.
go to the dispensary and buy the
Purchase.
marijuana.
Right, right.
But again, with what was happening in the dispensaries and things getting laced with fentanyl and stuff, that could have been our daughter dying from fentanyl.
Absolutely. Yes.
Not
Yes.
knowing it was in the pot, because our daughter would have never considered any other drug out there besides
Hmm.
marijuana,
Right.
and she chose that because it helped with her pain, and it made it where she was able to eat.
What she can eat.
Uh,
Yeah. Keep food
yeah,
down. Sure. Yep. Yep.
because
Yep.
other than that, she was not able to keep anything down, and she was basically turning into a skeleton. Um,
Oh, I'm so
so
sad.
so that alone kept her alive for many years.
Yeah.
And again, most people don't even survive 15 years on dialysis.
Yeah. That's a
So,
long time.
and actually, altogether, sorry about that. Altogether, I think it was about 18 years altogether.
Wow. Wow.
But either way, God rest her soul. And I know she's up dancing with the angels.
Yes,
Um,
she is. And
and
looking over you.
up there dancing with the angels with my wife,
That's
Joanne.
right. They're
Um,
both watching over you every day.
Amen. And okay, guys.
Well, we're at an hour.
Our show's about up. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
Our
right?
show's about yeah, I'm fine. Our show is about up. And the action is an hour.
Yeah.
So we'll be live again tomorrow, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 9 Pacific. Jonathan and Julie D in the morning. Hope you guys can tune in to our broadcast. Please like, follow, and share us on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, X, all those out there. We're on all of them. Just like and share us and get the truth spread out there to America, guys.
Yes,
And
please.
if it's not for you guys, we couldn't do the job that we do. So
That's right.
please just keep sharing, share. So, all right, guys, God bless you guys. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.